Now, we've been talking about sexting, as well as social media, but it's been described as the next biggest thing since the development of the internet, and that is virtual reality, which is set to propel humankind to the next level of innovation. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg says that virtual reality will be the most social platform that ever existed. But does the platform also pose dangers for humanity, as the new version of getting up close and personal doesn't even need to involve a real person like you and me? That's thanks to technology. However, it also has many advantages, some say, as the world bodies begin to adapt to using this platform to deal with conflicts. Joining us now in studio is the creative director at bizAR Reality, Anthony Eva. Anthony, a very good morning to you and welcome.
As well.
First and foremost, tell me about virtual reality. What is it all about?
So virtual reality is a complete immersive experience. So what's powerful about virtual reality is that the cell phone in your pocket is a virtual reality device. Mm-hmm. So you put into a hardware device like the Google Cardboard, and you're able to now go into virtual reality and experience how it is to be in Tokyo, right in your backyard. So that is what virtual reality is about. And you can also create simulations through virtual reality.
Now, there's a common misperception that augmented virtual reality are identical. What is the difference between the two?
So augmented reality and virtual reality. So augmented reality is adding to the world around us. So it's adding digital information to us, and you're partially immersed in this environment. So it's still our reality. Where virtual reality, you are completely immersed. So you're in a completely virtual environment.
I see.
To give an example, if you have a look at a blueprint of an architecture design, you take your phone, you scan it, a 3D model can appear out of that. That would be augmented reality.
You are kidding me.
Promise. So then if you click on that, and it will go into virtual reality. So now you can actually be inside that building as if you were there.
Yes.
So that's virtual reality versus augmented reality.
Are we pioneering it here in South Africa?
Yes, definitely. Specifically in the architecture industry, we've definitely come up with a couple of new innovations. bizAR Reality has actually come up with the first augmented reality to virtual reality content management system, which is a whole lot of words, but basically it's a communication tool that we've developed here in South Africa.
Now, we've seen augmented reality become a concept that almost anyone can understand through the popular Pokemon game. Is that the sort of thing that we're looking at, and can it only be used for gaming, or is there more that can be used for it?
So Pokemon Go has created a lot of awareness for augmented reality and a lot of adoption, so we're very pleased to see that about that. But essentially, it's not just for gaming. As I just said, it could also be utilized in architecture. It's been utilized in education. It's been utilized in massive industries. Fighter jet pilots have been using it for years now, and so it is a technology that's been utilized, but just not been breached to the surface yet as it is now.
I'm very excited about this virtual reality because Fantastic. I would like to, for instance, redo my office, and I would like to see a picture before I do it, because normally you would have to physically do it in order to change, in order to see it at the end. But this, with virtual reality, you can actually do that now.
Yeah, we actually do that. So
unbelievable. Mark Zuckerberg said that this is the next biggest thing since the internet. Tell us more about that. Why does he say that, and do you concur with that?
Yeah, so virtual reality is definitely something that is going to take over the world. Social networks are definitely making a big push in it. If you look at Facebook now, you can take 360 photos, videos, and post it onto Facebook. But I believe augmented reality, virtual reality, and the Internet of Things is going to be all put together and to create to be really cohesive and create the next big thing. Google's bet their money in both sides of the party, so no one really knows, but I think it's a cohesion of all three of them together.
Now, this morning we were talking about sexting and sex, all things about sex online. But one virtual reality innovation that currently exists is the sex suit, I believe. Tell me more about this. And this is creating quite a stir, because we will no longer be able to, we won't no longer be able to need someone to be with us with this particular sex suit. Tell us about this.
Sure. So, virtual reality does have that extra ability for it, but Essentially, I believe that virtual reality is not going to... technology is evolving, right?
Yes.
And so is humans. We're definitely on the same path, intertwined. But people still crave human interaction. So a good way to look at it is look at your cell phone. Yes, we're all on our phones, yet we're having a conversation right now. Why would we not just have this over the phone, rather? It's because we crave human interaction. And so I think there's virtual reality assists, but not as much.
Another thing that we would like to talk about is that the UN is currently discussing ways and to see how virtual reality can assist them with serious matters. And I'm not too sure if you know about this and how does it help in security situations, for instance, in the world.
Yeah, sure. So I was actually lucky enough to be part of the United Nations International Media Seminar, where they were talking mainly about the peace in the Middle East with the Palestine-Israeli conflict. And essentially what virtual reality does is, if I tell you a story, you interpret it with your mind and you imagine it, right? But in virtual reality, you experience the story. So your conscious is the medium. So now I can experience how it is to be in someone else's shoes and have their perspective instead of just my perspective. So now I'm combining the two to try and come up with a resolution, and that's how United Nations has been utilizing it. We also were in discussions about how ethics could be implemented in virtual reality. Unfortunately,
we've run out of time, but this is such an interesting discussion. We need some more time on this, but thank you so much for coming through and joining us.
Really
now, that was Anthony Eva, the creative director at bizAR Reality. By the way, here in South Africa, we are at the forefront of this virtual reality, and they are doing it. We'll take a break right now. We'll be back at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.